So, welcome back everybody to another episode of Outdoors with Ellie and D. Devin and I are all done doing our elk hunt, and every year when we come back from that we start doing the pheasant hunting. His leave is just about up. He's got to leave here this coming week, and so we got a little bit of time left to get some bird hunting in. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it went better than the elk hunting did. Yeah, right. It should be. Come on. A lot more water in it this year than there was this time last year, isn't there? Remember how low it was last year?
I wasn't here last year.
Oh, the year before?
Yeah. It looks a little high.
Yeah, you could. She had to go out there a ways before she got into the water. Go down here, see if she wants to get in the water. Oh, there you go. You see that one floating in the water? You good, El? Over there.
100.
I guess not. Was she acting birdie in there? Well, he more than likely ran right down one of these rows, dude.
Well, she ran down one of them quite a ways, and she just
Ellie, come here.
didn't seem to know he was there at all.
Give me. Yeah, he came through here.
No, sit.
Take a break. Sit down. Hey everybody, we're out here doing a little pheasant hunting today. And Devin's gone home, his leave is over, so it's Christy and I and the monkey here. Today's the last day for this area. Ellie just ran over there and jumped in the water to cool down. We'll see how it goes. We talked to a couple other people, haven't heard a lot of shooting or anything this morning, so we'll see how it goes. Hello everybody, Ellie and I are going to do a little pheasant hunt today. We are in Corvallis, Oregon. We typically hit this spot a little later in the season because it's still open. Where we are at today is a place called Camp Adair. Camp Adair was it's an old World War II training base. It's a really big area. You can still see the grid system. There's still roads and stuff. You can see some foundations from the old buildings. At one point over the years, it was privately owned, and they tried to turn it into an orchard. So there's lots of apple trees, pear trees. They're all over the place. It's owned by the state now. It's a hunting area. There's a fishing pond. There's a skeet. Clay pigeon range. There's a bow range ran by the state. It's set up. It's got a nice area where it's got targets to go out to a bunch of yardages, a covered area so you don't get rained on. They've even got a raised platform area. It looks like a big deck, goes up a couple stories, and you can practice shooting like if you were in a tree stand, an elevated position. It's a pretty neat place. We've been coming here for years. There's a lot of blackberries, which we're not crazy about. So we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. As you can see, it's a big system of paved roads out here. It's like a big square. It goes down there as far as you can see. And it goes down that way as far as you can see. And this is only half of it. It goes on the other side of the road when you get way down there as well. Looks like it was a pretty big training base. This area is called E.E. Wilson now. I'm not sure who that was, why they dedicated this place to him. I'd have to look it up. But before that, it was Camp Adair. That's A-D-A-I-R. Camp Adair Road splits the area right in two. I don't know, this area is, I'm not sure how many acres they got, but it goes, I would say it's a couple of miles in each direction. Maybe not that big, maybe all together, but it's a big area. We'll try our luck. We like to hunt this end area down here because there's less blackberries down here. Ellie doesn't like getting in there and getting stuck with those blackberry thorns, and neither do I. So we'll see how it goes. There's some of the apple trees I was referring to from when it was an orchard. These things are absolutely all over the place. Ellie Mae, come. This here is typically pretty good, but for some reason the grass is really short in it this year. More than likely it's going to push most of them out to the thicker stuff, the blackberries and whatnot. I don't know why they did that. That's usually a pretty good area to hunt in. So we'll keep going. We may hit some of it. I don't take much to hide them. They can hide out in a tilled up dirt field, but they've been chased around all day by dogs. They're more than likely going to be in the thicker stuff. So we're going to keep going. We just come through those cattails over there, and I seen a small coyote run out of there. I know Ellie didn't see it. I barely caught a glimpse of it. She can't see above the grass, and she's running around. I know she can smell it. Well, I just got one. Good job, Al. Good girl. Drop that bird. Yeah, I didn't get him on video. We came through right over here, and that bird was over there. We didn't even get on its scent, and we walked by and it jumped. Maybe that's what that coyote was after. But he jumped up behind me and I hit him with one shot. So we're done for the day. This area, it takes of course a hunting license, and it's a $25 pheasant fee tag. You can get 2 roosters a day, and I've only got 1 bird on this tag because I got one from last time I went out, and I didn't stop by the store and get another one. So we're done. Just got the 1 bird. and we'll hike back out to the truck. I probably should have stopped and got another tag if I was going to drive all the way up here. It's about, I don't know, an hour away from the house, so I'm going to drive an hour back. I guess I could go into town and find a sporting goods store and buy another one. I may or may not do that, but we got one. Hello everybody. We are at E.E. Wilson again today. This is our last day of the season. It's October 28th. We only got a couple of days left. Halloween is the last day for the pheasant season in Western Washington. Or, I'm sorry, Western Washington. Western Oregon. Ellie, this way. We're going to give it one last try. Did pretty good here last week, and saw quite a few birds. Oh, we'll see how it goes. It's partly cloudy right now. It's supposed to rain. Typical for this time of year, so hopefully we stay dry here for a little while. Stay tuned. Alright, we were just down there. Try to get a bird out of that thick stuff down there. He's come back out, and there's another one, so there's two of them down there. You can see him right out in the middle of the road there. Hopefully we can get them before they go in that super impenetrable stuff. It's super thick. I'm not sending Ellie in there. She's going to get all tore up with blackberry thorns. If you had a cat that hunted, you could do that. But we're going to try it again. Hey, you see him down there. Now there's three of them down there. I can see three roosters down there. That one's running out in the middle of the road right now. He's going from side to side. Alright. Keep our fingers crossed. They won't dive into that stuff. They probably will. They learn how to survive. No, Ellie, 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 no! Ellie, heel! Ellie, heel! Ellie! Go get him. So we just chased the three of them. I think I got them on tape. There's some runners. They kept running on us. They got a little too far out for us to shoot before they got up. We tried to find the closest one, which looked like it might have been wounded already. It didn't fly all that well. Didn't go very far. Didn't find it. Went the direction the other two went. We jumped one of them in the trees. I shot at him. And the trees are so thick in there, the blackberries. I think I hit him, and I think he went down, but we couldn't find him. Either that or he just kept flying and I couldn't see it, so we'll never know, but did get a shot at one of them. We'll sit here and take a little break, see if any more come out, and then we'll continue. Ellie and I are both really hot, pretty much out of water, so there's a guy down there. I guess he just took a shot way down there at the other end of that field by the big trees down there. Down there somewhere. I see him. Anyways. There's birds out. We've got about an hour left. I said it's the last time we're going to be able to come out. There's only 2 days left, and I have to work those days, so This will be the last day of the season. It's a beautiful day. It was supposed to rain today. It's like 50% chance. It was raining in a few spots on the way up here. And when I got here, it was pretty much all overcast, but it's beautiful now. It's really warm out here. It feels like it's about 70 degrees. It's pretty common for October out here. But, yeah, it's a really nice day, as you can see. I don't know if I've gone over what gun I'm using for pheasant hunting, but the guns that we like to pheasant hunt are with these Ithaca Model 37s. What they're famous for is their featherlight guns. But this is not a featherlight. This is what they call an ultralight. Now the difference being is that, I don't know if you can tell the difference in the metal between the barrel and magazine here, but the receiver here is aluminum. So on the ultralights, they have an aluminum receiver on them. They have just a 25-inch barrel. This is a 20 gauge. I've never found any reason to. I have before hunted with the 12 gauge in upland bird hunting, but for the most part, I don't find any reason to do it. I usually save the 12 gauges for waterfowling. When you're out doing a lot of hiking, you're going to hump a gun around all day long walking. It's really nice to have a light gun. And that is why we have these. This one here is my son's gun. It is, I believe this one is, if I had to guess, I'd have to look up the serial number, but I think this was made back in the 80s. The one I have is a little bit newer. Mine's made about 2008, 2010, somewhere around there. And the furniture on it does look slightly different on mine. And the aluminum, they have a different finish on the aluminum, so it's more of a gray color. And mine also has the gold trigger. One thing that did change from some of the years was on the older ultralights, they've got this buttstock cap here, you can see. Mine did not come with that. The newer guns didn't have that. They just have a black and white Ithaca emblem on there. So what I did was I went online and I found a new old stock, and I found a pheasant, and I've got a pheasant on mine. These ones have got a quail on them. These original ones. But they've got the gold trigger on them, and they've got this pink front bead on it. Mine has a pink fiber optic on it. They don't make these anymore. I tried finding one because it's a little more original to the earlier ones, which I really like. On one side of it here, it's got a scene of duck hunting, and then the other side here, it's got a scene of pheasant hunting engraved in it. These older guns shoot 2 3/4 shells. Mine is a little bit newer, so it shoots a 3-inch shell. Come to find that finding shells for things are actually pretty hard to find. In a 20 gauge, shoot 2 3/4, and you have to shoot steel. And all these areas out here anymore for, I don't know, at least 20 years, maybe 30 years, you've had to shoot steel. They changed it over from shooting lead, and they're much harder to find in steel. But I find a box here and there now and again. Believe it or not, a lot of times I find them at Walmart, of all places. Every now and again I'll find a box of them at Bi-Mart. Bi-Mart likes to carry like 7s and 9s, which is more like a clay load. It's too light for these pheasants. The steel slows down a lot faster than lead does, so you got to bump up like 2 sizes in steel. So typically in the past, traditionally, you'd shoot, say, number 6s or number 4s in lead at pheasants. Maybe 4s for later in the season when they flush out a little bit further. So you can reach out there. But I'd like to shoot 2s or 4s in the steel if I can get them for these pheasants out here. I have shot 7s at them if that's all I can find, but they seem to be a lot harder to drop with the 7s. That steel just isn't as heavy as lead, and it slows down faster as it's going out, and it loses all its poop, and it's got no knockdown power. It doesn't penetrate. It just doesn't knock them down. I have in the past hunted with, there's a shot called bismuth. That's a type of metal. You can find it on the periodic table of elements. It's really expensive. The company was making it, then they went out of business, and they were rebought, I think, by Kent. The company that makes Kent shotgun shells. I think they bought them out and started making them again. But they are super expensive. Almost to the point where nobody buys them. I believe that's why they went out of business, if I had to guess. But if you can get the bismuth, whew, they knock the hell out of them. They shoot just like lead. They're really good. I've got an old Winchester Model 12 in the 20 gauge that my grandpa gave to me when he passed away. And I shot some, you're not supposed to shoot steel through those it's got a fixed choke on it. And if I remember right, it's got a full choke on it. Not a good idea to shoot steel through a full choke, fixed choke. So I found some bismuth, and I shot that with that gun for a couple of seasons. It shot really well, and that bismuth works fantastic. I haven't seen any, if I believe, last couple times I've looked, that were bismuth 20 gauge 2 3/4 inch shells. They might have them at some gun shops, or maybe even Cabela's. But, oh, there's a shot. Cabela's is god-awful super expensive on their ammo prices. I can't remember the last time I bought a box of ammo from them. I don't even know how they stay in business. Every time I go in there, the prices have gone up on everything, and they never have anything I need. But that's a whole nother story. But y'all know what I'm talking about. If you've been in Cabela's and been to their ammo aisle, it's ridiculous the price they want for all of their ammo. Going there for looking for pistol ammo, shotgun ammo, rifle, any of it. It's way overpriced. It wouldn't surprise me if they went out of business here in the future. They can't sustain that. I mean, nobody buys stuff there at those kind of prices. So, anyhow, that's what we're shooting. Ithaca Ultralights. If you ever want to, I highly recommend them. They're awesome guns. This is a John Browning design, by the way. If you've ever been to the John Browning Museum, it's in Ogden, Utah, and it is awesome. You go check that out, and one thing you find out is that John Browning pretty much designed and invented every damn gun we shoot to this day. Not all of them, but most of them. I mean, you see all his prototypes. Prototypes for the semi-automatic. Tells the whole story about how he figured that out. Shooting out there in the grass, and they noticed the gases were coming out of the end of the barrel, pushing the grass away. Him and his brothers are out there. And they've got the prototypes for what they used to make a semi-automatic weapon, and then he designed just about everything. And some of the guns that we think are made by other companies were actually designed by him, and he sold them patents on it. So he designed just about every firearm that we use today. That's downtown Ogden. It's the train station. It's kind of a combination. If you go down to the old train station downtown Ogden, it's like a train museum, and then the other half of it's the Browning Museum. So check that out if you ever get a chance. I highly recommend it. It is awesome. But that's another John Browning design. Bottom load, bottom eject on this gun. Yeah, these ultralights are much harder to find. If you keep your eye on Gunbroker or some websites like that, auction sites, you can find them on there now and again. I've looked. They did make them, the ultralights, in a 12 gauge as well. They're much harder to find. They made the ultralights off and on over the years, and Ithaca has changed hands over the years a couple of times. And I'm pretty sure they're not in Ithaca, New York anymore. They moved to a couple different places. And one thing I will complain about my gun, thing I really don't like, is the finish on it. These older guns, I don't know what kind of finish they put on them, but this finish holds up really well, and it is waterproof. I come out here in the rain with my gun, and after it starts to get soaked with rain, that finish, I don't know what kind of varnish it is, what they use, but urethane, whatever it is not waterproof. It starts to reconstitute, and I can scrape that off with my fingernail. It looks like hell. Once it dries, it hardens back up and it looks normal again, but it's a horrible finish. I hate to say it because I really love the Ithacas. So if any of you ever watch this video with Ithaca, you need to quit being cheap on your finishes and go back to using what you were before. I don't know if it's an EPA thing, that's why you changed, but you got to find something that's waterproof, man. Guns are for hunting outside. I mean, they're gonna, and you know, living in the Pacific Northwest, it rains 9-10 months out of the year, so you're gonna be in the rain when you hunt. They got to have a waterproof finish on them. So that's the only bad thing I have to say about my newer ultralight. I'm sure they put the same finish on the feather lights as I'm sure they put the same finish on all their guns. As of right now, I don't believe, you know, they quit making the ultralights off and on over the years, and last time I checked, they haven't made them in probably 10-15 years. They quit production on them. Matter of fact, when I bought mine, I had to call the company, and I was talking to the guy because I was looking at one on an auction site that had a broken stock on it. It was cracked in here somewhere, if I remember right. And I called their custom shop, and I was asking him how much it would be to get some new furniture on it, and he asked me what I was looking for, and I told him I'm looking for the ultralight in 20 gauge, and he's like, well, hold on a minute, I think we might have one of those in our safe. So I waited on the phone for a bit, and he went and looked, and sure enough, he come back and he said they still had one, and he's going to put it together for me, and I bought it, and they're way more expensive. Back in the 80s, these things were about $300, and when I bought mine, it was $1,000. And like I said, the finish isn't as good. It didn't have the buckstock cap on it that I really like. Just like anything these days, the production on them, the quality in production has gone down a little. It's still a good gun, but just a few little nitpicky things there that have gone down, and the price has gone way up. So if they ever start selling them again, when I look at them online, you can find them. I forget how much they are, but they're not super cheap. You're going to spend some money. I got really lucky on finding this one for my son Devin. This one I found at Cabela's on the used rack. We were in there one day for something, looking for some ammo or something, and I always walk by that gun rack and just glance and see what they've got over there, and this caught my eye. I know what they look like. They're very unique looking. The few little things on them that I know, and I knew exactly what it was. I went over there, snatched it up, and looked at it, and I told my wife. My wife and my kids happened to be with me. She's like, I told her, this thing's going home with us. This is going to be Devin's gun, and I think I got it for like $300, which is awesome. Like I said, it doesn't have some of the modern amenities like a newer gun has. It doesn't have replaceable choke tubes on it. It doesn't have, and it doesn't. It's not chambered for 3-inch shells. It only shoots the 2 3/4. So the modern guns have gone a little bit more towards that. Everybody for 20 years now or more, they bumped all the guns up to 3-inch shells, and because of waterfowling, they bumped them all up to 3.5. So the 2 3/4 shells in a lot of offerings have become hard to find. So that's what I know about the Ithacas. They're awesome guns. I love it. They're super light. The only other gun I was considering looking at this when I bought mine was I was looking at a one called the Montefeltro. I believe it's a Benelli, and it's a super light gun. I got a coworker that I've been pheasant hunting with up here years ago, and he's got one of those things. And it might even be lighter than these guns. It's super light, and it's a really nice gun. I think they were at the time, I think about $1,200, $1,500. So they're not cheap. I was considering that gun until I found mine, until I called Ithaca. That was the only other gun I was considering because of the weight of it and the reputation. Benelli makes a good shotgun for the upland bird hunting. When you get into waterfowling, it's a whole nother ball game. You get different finishes. They're going to be out in the rain and water a lot. It's 12, you probably want a 12 so you can have more shot and reach out there further. They shoot 3.5-inch shells. It's just another ball game. When you're waterfowl hunting, your guns get, well, at least in my experience, they get beat to crap. You're out there in the dark, setting up your decoys and slipping and falling in the mud and this and that. You wouldn't want a really nice gun that had wood furniture on it.
like these upland guns for waterfowl. But like I said, that's a whole nother subject. I don't even really waterfowl hunt anymore. But anyhow, if you're gonna upland hunt, I highly recommend one of these Ithacas. And it is 4:09 now. We've only got till 5 o'clock till we got to stop hunting. So I heard one more shot here while we were talking, pretty close. We're gonna go out and see if we can find another bird. So stay tuned.